All good to go?
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to start. Yeah.
Done.
Alrighty.
So,
You can count. One.
first question was, what's your name for all the people that are gonna watch the video?
No worries. Keenan Hardigan.
Yeah, and since when you will live in Margaret River?
So I've been in Margaret River probably for the last 7 years now. With my wife, just recently married at the beginning of this year. And our beautiful daughter
little
Eliza. Yeah, 2.5 now. That's it. Keeping the house very entertained. Yeah.
Now, when we met each other for a coffee, was there? And
That's
you told
right.
me your story. I was just freaking out.
Blown away.
Yes, I met someone that's still alive.
That's
and
it.
they had a
Still walking,
why
still
shark
talking.
attack?
Yeah.
So my first thing was, what do you feel when you realized then you were in the shark attack?
To be honest, it was unbelievable. I couldn't believe what had just happened to me. Yeah. I mean, everything that you hear stories about sharks and all that type of thing, but as a surfer, and I imagine most surfers out there at the moment, you forget about it. It doesn't really enter your mind. You think about it now and again, but it's not too much in your mind as you're surfing away.
Yeah.
But yeah, just utter shock. I could not get over what had just happened to me. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you could realize, you go probably a couple of seconds when you realize.
Yeah.
It's came to me.
That's right. Yeah, it's almost like time stopped a little bit. It went a bit slow motion. The brain trying to take everything in as it was all happening, and yeah, just seeing the big grey head coming up out of the water right next to me. That was it. Yeah, I think fright or flight instinct. Yeah.
You probably say, why to me?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, because I was out there with a friend of mine. He was a bit bigger than me, and I thought, why go for the skinny guy? There's a big guy right next to me. Yeah. I was the entree. That was what it was. Yeah.
But at any moment then, in that time, you thought, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Pretty much. Once he had bitten down and grabbed a hold of me, it was that first instinct of, this is the last day I'll see. This is me, all finished now. I'm gonna go under this water and never come up again, type of thing. Yeah, it was a bit like, obviously in the moment, panic, shock, adrenaline kicks in and keeps you moving.
You still have that moment in your mind.
Yeah. I can recall that feeling. I still get the goosebumps thinking about it. I mean, every now and again, I wake up in the night, had a bit of a nightmare, just refreshing about what happened and that, thinking that there's still shark attached to my leg. 2006. Yeah. That was early 2006 that I got bitten.
It was in Perth.
Yeah, in Perth, just off Scarborough Beach, a couple of k's up from Scarborough. Yeah, good work. And yeah, it was quite early out in the morning, about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning.
High time when it's good.
Perfect feeding time. Yeah, that's it. I thought we'd just get a quick surf in before we head off to work for the day, and didn't even feel like there was sharks out at the time. Sometimes you get that feeling, oh, it's a bit sharky today. I won't go out in the water.
You never think about, oh, we got shark around. You know?
No. I mean, every now and again you see a few dolphins and the heart will jump quickly, and then you realise, oh no, I've just been silly, it's just a dolphin out there type of thing. Or you see a big clump of seaweed and you have a second look, oh no, it's not moving, we're okay. Yeah. After you be out there every morning, every afternoon, like it don't really think about it.
That's what happened to me when I arrived here in Western Australia.
Yeah.
I was a bit scary, and then when you see everyone in the water, say, okay.
If they're happy, everyone's happy. Yeah, if they're not worried, we shouldn't be. Yeah.
You say.
Good work.
When this happened, you realized then was a shark attack. Someone bring you to the beach.
Yeah.
And then you got just knocked out.
Pretty much, yeah. As soon as the shark attack had happened and that, he did let me go. He bit down twice, just on my right leg. Obviously, it didn't taste too good, so he spat me out and left me alone for a bit. But gave me enough time to grab what was left of my board and paddle back into shore. And that's where one of my best mates, he was standing on shore waiting for me, pulled me up on the sand, and I think that's when shock wore off, and that was it. I don't remember much after that other than waking up in hospital. Yeah.
And what do you think the first thing then you had in your mind when you woke up after the surgery? What was like?
To be honest, I kind of woke up and I did the take, am I in heaven? Am I still alive? Like, make sure, yeah, everything's still here. I had quite a big cut on my arm as well as on all over my legs.
It's always
Yeah, so this scar here was just as he was thrashing around and me trying to punch and kick and do all I could to get him off, end up coughing my arm as well as tearing my leg open a bit. But yeah, my first instinct was look down and check to make sure I still had a leg. And I was quite pleased to see it was still there, yeah. But yeah, no, it was just a bit of a panic moment, wanting to know too if my mate had made it out of the water, because I knew there was a couple of people on the beach, but I didn't know if he had made it out of the water alongside me or whether he was still out there, and I just got myself in. So I just want to make sure that everyone else was okay as after I figured out that my arm and leg was still attached. Yeah.
Have you back to the water after that?
I have been back a couple of times. I must admit I haven't been back in the water in Perth or anywhere near Scarborough where I was bitten. But when I moved down to Margaret River, I said to the wife, I said, look, we're moving to Margaret River. It's surfing mecca. I've got to get back out in the water and give it a go again. But I've been out probably twice since then. Once
still hard for you to...
Still very hard, yeah. I must admit, I haven't picked up a surfboard since. I haven't got the surfboard out in the water. Just taking it slowly at the moment, going for a little bit of a dip here and there, bit of a swim, and then that's it. Yeah, I think it'll be a bit before I get the surfboard back out, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's traumatized.
That's right, it just relates back to what happens, yeah.
And now thinking, lazy, you think, yeah, what do you think? Think about your kids grow up in the water.
That's it. I mean, obviously when I was bitten, I never had any kids and just a girlfriend at the time, so not too much responsibility. It was more look after yourself and make sure I was okay. But now I've got someone else to look after and a wife and family. It does. It really does worry me taking her out to the beach. Obviously because I've still got it in my head, everything that happened to me. But me and wife have had this discussion a few times actually on how I feel about her going out in the water and how I feel getting out in the water again. And I think especially in Margaret River, the kids down here grow up in the water, they grow up at the pool, they grow up in the ocean, and the odds and chances
you don't wanna...
I don't want to instill my fear onto my daughter. I don't want to take something away that she might really enjoy and love, as I enjoy the beach and I loved going out surfing and that. I'd hate for my fear to get the best of her and keep her out of the water. Yeah, yeah.
Because you got plenty of people that surfing every day.
And that's exactly it.
Swimming every day.
Yeah. I mean, half of her friends from daycare are down the beach every day going for a swim, even just in the little paddling bit and that.
I'm pretty sure then for you, it's a bit hard.
Yeah.
Every time that you can see her.
That's right. As soon as I see her get in the water, my heart jumps a little bit and I start searching her eyes and making sure there's no fins. Yeah? Yeah, we go swimming later. So,
yeah.
Love swimming.
Everyone's going
Everyone's going
swimming.
swimming, yeah, yeah. We go swimming later. And this afternoon? Yeah. But no, I do stress about her a bit, and even with the wife, just going out for a swim with friends.
What
and
about
that.
your wife?
Yeah, I do struggle a bit.
Does she like go surfing or?
Luckily for me, she's quite fair-skinned, so she spends about 10 minutes in the sun, and she turns red and has to come back inside. So if she goes down to the beach, it's normally a quick trip, quick dip in, quick dip out. So it works well for me.
Yeah. That's good.
That's it. But yeah, definitely loves the pool, loves getting out swimming, that type of thing. And like I said, I'd love for Eliza to one day pull out the surfboard.
River, they say paradise for surfing. So.
Exactly. You can't live down here and not enjoy the beach. It would be a waste. Yeah.
There's so much.
That's
so
right.
Many beautiful places. Well.
And that's it. Nah, we go to the beach later. Yeah.
my last question is about because it's happened to you, it's happened to many people as well.
That's
in the last
right.
few years. What do you think about Australian government is going in the right direction to keep the wildlife relation between wildlife and
yeah.
well?
Well, that's it, and it's such a fine line, and I think you do have a lot of people in Australia on both sides of the argument, on especially with drum lines and that type of thing, whether it's cruel to the sharks, them sitting on a drum line for hours on end and that type of thing. And then you also have the other side of surfers and families who have lost people, unfortunately, to sharks, and they do sometimes sway the way that, no, got to get rid of them, get them out of the swimming beaches.
Yeah.
Personally, for myself, I'm against the cruelty of the drum lines and that side of things. I think the government definitely has to do something because shark attacks are becoming more and more common. The shark attacks are becoming more and more fatal.
Why do you think they're coming more common? Like,
As I used to be a fishing, working on a trawler boat, doing quite a lot of fishing, cray pots, that type of stuff. And one thing I noticed was the more and more fish to come out of the water, the more and more shark attacks to happen. So I think it's a bit of our side as well.
The first point, you think?
Yeah, I think a bit of overfishing. Obviously the sharks not having as much food. Exactly, so they start looking elsewhere for a bit of tucker, and the surfer sitting on a surfboard with his legs in the water looks pretty good. Yeah, exactly, that's it, yeah. There's a quick snack on the go, yeah.
What do you think about the feeding shark? You know, I know them all the West Coast, they stopped to do since many years now.
That's right.
It's a good point as well, because...
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right? Yeah, I think, like, we've been living down here. We've had many shark attacks down here just in the 7 years that I've been down here. I think there are a lot of options out there that the government could look into, like drum lines, getting rid of those and starting to put shark nets, things like that, which are a bit more humane.
More control, maybe?
More control. Yeah, exactly. I mean, when I was living in Scarborough, when I got bitten, every summer we used to hear the shark siren go off, the helicopters come over, everyone evacuate out of the water. Half an hour to an hour later.
The big problem is you got white shark here. In East Coast, we really don't have white shark.
No, that's it. And I must admit, I mean, the one that bit me was a juvenile great white, and they say that he was only a young guy. Obviously, finding out what he could eat, what he couldn't eat.
Lucky there wasn't a mummy.
And that's exactly it. They reckon if it was any of the other family members of sharks, I'd be gone. So I came off well that I only had a teenager fight with me instead of an adult. Yeah. Yeah, T. But yeah, I think it is definitely, sharks were here a long time before we were, and they've survived this long without us. So I think a bit of respect down their side of things would go a long way. Yeah. I mean, where I work here at the cafe, a lot of people in Margaret River on either side of the argument as well. Been so many sharks down here. And like there's places like Sidekick and Settlers and that refuse to serve shark or any shark items because of the cruelty and that side of it. And then there are also the other side where they're quite happily to serve shark, cheaper meat, that type of thing as well. So it is a very hard decision, and I think it really comes down to personal experience. If you've had experiences with sharks, I know a lot of surfers down here that really don't mind the sharks being around. They've seen them, they know in the water, and I think you entering the water, you know what's in there. It's a decision you make when you step in. Yeah. Everyone in Australia knows the awe about sharks and that they are definitely here and they do bite people. So I think you got to know the risks of entering the water before you can start kicking up a fuss about, oh, I got bitten and let's go out and kill this shark now type of thing. I made the decision to get into the water that day, and unfortunately it paid off.
Well, that
exactly, I'm still here to enjoy exactly and pass on my story a bit to other people too, and let them know, look, it's not all bad out there. Like, there are people that do survive, and I really do feel for the families and that have lost people, because it is a bit of a traumatic experience, I must admit. Like, only now am I able to get out in the ocean. Like, it was a good 9 months before I could even have a bath in the bathtub because I felt a bit nervous about just being submerged in water. Yeah. So yeah, I think definitely a bit of conscious decision on people's behalf before they go in the water. You know what's out there.
Yeah.
Expect
checking.
Exactly. Have a look. Yeah. If it feels a bit sharky, don't go in. Yeah.
Thanks, mate.
Not a problem. No, my absolute pleasure.
Your experience.
That's all right.
And for all the people, just don't forget to
come in, see me for a coffee at Sidekick Cafe. Yeah. I promise the sharks don't bite here. Yeah. Hey. Smiley. That was good.
I think we're good.
Well done. High five. Good work.
Thanks, buddy.
My pleasure, mate. Thank you very much. Hey,
Thank you very much.
is that all right? Yeah.
Hey, how do you feel?
How did you go? You did well. You were very well
Now
behaved.
everyone in the water.
Yeah, that's it. Now we go for a swim in the beach. Yeah. No swimming? We got to have a nap first, don't we? And I promised you some chocolate, so we're going to go home and have some chocolate. Yeah, have some chocolate and then a
Time to eat
sleep.
something sweet.
Chocolate, yeah. Alrighty.